Hello silver friends, this is Joli from QuickSilverHair, and today I wanted to share something about my makeup drawer. There are 5 things over the last few years that I have just decided I'm going to stop buying because they end up being a waste. And along the same vein of being more sustainable and ethical in my closet, I thought, I buy cruelty-free makeup, but I also buy excess. Which means that I buy things that end up going to waste because I don't really have anyone to hand those products to. And sometimes makeup isn't exactly the safest thing to hand down to someone. Like, you're not going to give someone your mascara or your lipstick or anything like that. So it becomes this, place where money just goes to waste. And I was thinking about this the other day when I was thinking about my slower fashion series and eliminating the unnecessary from my closet, eliminating things that no longer fit, things that I don't wear anymore, things that are no longer my style. The same thing can be held true in your makeup drawer. There are things that no longer serve us. And for me, one of the things that happened when I started the channel for QuickSilverHair was I kind of jumped on this bandwagon of buying makeup and buying products. And then I ended up going back to my default position with makeup. I am a makeup minimalist. I like a natural look. And I was starting to deviate from that just in my own desire to look my best on video. So when I cleaned out my cabinet the other day, while I was cleaning it out, there was one thing in there that was sticking out in front of me that I kept thinking about. It had nothing to do with hair products, and that was this box. So we're gonna start with this box. It's kind of noisy, so I'm gonna be gentle and be quiet, but I bought this box to put lipstick in. And you can see it's almost loaded. And I've actually already thrown some away out of this a few months ago. But here's what happened with lipstick. My journey with lipstick kind of started with going silver and thinking that if I had a great lipstick, it would help me to not look washed out. And a friend of mine sent me IT's lipstick. And she sent me a different color. But I loved the lipstick so much that I went to Ulta and I bought this color, which is Pure Joy. And it's a gorgeous rosy metallic color. They've discontinued it. And of course, this one is old enough that it's drying out. So I began this search to find a lipstick that matched this one because I felt like it wasn't too bright, it wasn't too dense, it wasn't too intense. It was just kind of that perfect shade for me. The problem is that I don't like lipstick. I like lip balms. I like chapstick and lip balm type products because my lips tend to be rather dry, so I don't want anything on my lips that feels sticky or dry. So I tried the Color the World lipsticks and I went through a lot of them. And I found this one, which is Pretty in Pink. And while it's not the same color, it served the same purpose for me. I do still like this lipstick and I still wear this one. But I bought another handful of lipsticks from them, and one of the issues that I faced was the colors weren't matching the skin tones on their website, or when I got here, the colors did not represent what I saw on the website. They just didn't represent it well. My friend Katie of Katie Goes Platinum did a video on this. I'll link it in the description box below. But what has happened is they have a no return policy, and I ended up with probably 7 or 8 lipsticks in my journey to just trying to find the right one. And I ended up throwing most of them away because they either dried out very quickly or they were so far off that I couldn't get comfortable wearing them. Like, I did a couple of videos in them. I can even go back and look at those videos and know right away that I was wearing one of those lipsticks and how off it seemed for me. So I have decided that I am no longer going to buy lipstick, because what ends up happening is I end up with this huge box of lipstick, and there are probably 4 items in this box that I actually wear. One is this lip balm from Hemp Organics. This is the color Kiss, and I have the color Wine, and I have the color Love. These are fantastic. These work great for me. They aren't sticky. They feel good. They feel like a lip balm on my lips. I was using these before I went silver, and I've decided I'm just gonna stick to them. Why fix something if it isn't broke, right? The other issue for me with lipsticks is I have a pigment issue on my lips, where in the corner of my lips, it is turning white. The lip line is still there, but the red part of my lip is disappearing. So it gives this illusion that the shape of my lip is not the shape of my lip. So when I'm putting lipstick on, I can miss putting it on there, and it causes this look. I just don't like it. Even with lip liner, I struggle to keep everything in its place. And to me, it just looks messy. It doesn't look right on me. And that's a personal preference. It's probably something that most people would not even notice. But for me, I notice it, especially when I sit here and have to edit a video and I'm going back over it and over it and over it and over it. And I can see the same, like if there's a flaw or an issue, I see the same thing over and over and over and over again. And it just kind of drives me crazy. Call that my perfectionist. But I gotta get rid of this box full of lipstick because I rarely grab one out of here that I actually wear. I really wear these the most. I do have the one called Fashion from Merit, and this is a really nice one. Every time I wear this, somebody asks me on video what lipstick I'm wearing because it's so pretty. So I probably will keep this one and continue to use it because it actually does work for me. They don't have another color that I'm even interested in buying, so I probably won't buy any more of those. And then I have a kind of gloss from Pacifica that's a tinted gloss. I wear that a lot for video, and you guys have also commented on this one. It's very sheer. It's very light, so it's hard to notice, but it does give my lips just enough color to be really nice. But I really think from here on out, I'm just done. I'm tired of looking for them. I'm tired of paying for them and either having to send them back because they don't work at all or throw them away and waste the money completely on a lipstick that I may have worn once or twice. And I just don't want to be practicing that model of beauty consumption where you're only wearing something once in a while and then throwing it away. The next thing I'm going to stop buying are eyeshadow palettes. This palette from Bare Minerals is great. It's a beautiful palette. It has a beautiful set of purples in it. But you can see, like, I don't wear this one at all, and I will never wear this one. Even as an eyeliner, it's too dark. So that leaves 4 of these colors that I may wear on occasion, but I will never wear regularly. So I probably will never even use up this palette. And I won't use up those 2. So it just feels like such a waste. The other palette I have here that I have been trying to use all the colors is Ather Beauty, A-T-H-R Beauty. I'm not sure how to pronounce that exactly. But this is a beautiful palette, and I fell in love with it immediately. But you know what's happened? I can't wear these colors. There are 3 colors in here that are very golden in hue, which is not something that goes well with my skin tone. And then there are these darker shades that actually have a metallic tint to them, whereby when I put them on my eye, it looks like I have a black eye. My eye looks bruised. So who wants that, right? So I've ended up using just these 2 over here. That's all I've used out of this palette. Again, it's a huge waste, and this palette was pretty expensive. This was one of the first shadow palettes I ever purchased because I have always leaned towards buying single pots. My favorite single pots are from Zuzu, and this is my highlight powder. It's called Platinum. I've worn this color for probably 15 or 20 years. I'm not really sure, but it works really well for me. It's my best light color. And then I typically use my blush as my darker color because I typically like that kind of ballerina look where the cheeks and the eyes match. So I just use my blush, and I have been doing it so much that I rarely ever reach for any of my other eyeshadows. So I've just decided that I'm no longer going to buy palettes, and I really wish more makeup brands would do single pots. But my Blush is Party from Tarte. And I've been wearing this one for probably 5 or 6 years, I think, because the one I was using from Zuzu was canceled or discontinued and I just stopped using it. But it just seems like such a waste, and they're so expensive. These eyeshadow palettes are so expensive. And really, makeup doesn't last forever. Most of us wish it would, but eventually it's gonna get drier, cakier, flakier, the pans are gonna break, whatever, and it's just not worth it to me. So I'm gonna stick to my little 1-2 system here and quit buying these palettes, because I have bought a few recently that were smaller, like 3 pans or 4 pans, and I get them and I still couldn't wear them because they either had the wrong color tone or they were too dark. They were just too dark for what I prefer, because I don't do a really dark eye look because I have hooded eyes. There's really no point in putting a dark eyeshadow on because it just disappears, or I blink it into the crease and you can't see it at all, or it looks like I have a smudge or something in my eye. So there we are on the eyeshadow palettes. So for me, I am done with eyeshadow palettes. The next thing I refuse to buy is bronzer. I am really good with just my blush and a highlighter. I actually have a really great highlighter from Merit. It is their Bounce highlighter. That is the one I typically wear when I wear a highlighter, and I've found that it's just fine. It's perfectly good, and I do really well with just the highlight and the blush underneath it, and I don't feel like I need bronzer. I have such pale skin that using a bronzer feels like, I don't know, it feels like I'm putting something on my face that shouldn't be there. I can't really describe it. Every time I put it on, it's like, oh, nope, that wasn't right. And it's probably because I don't tan, I don't go out in the sun, so bronzer isn't a natural thing for me anyways. I think you probably get the idea there, but bronzers, not gonna buy them. I'm done. I have bought several palettes of highlighter, shadow, and bronzer. Never used the bronzer and never could figure it out. And now that I've got my favorite blush and highlighter, I'm just not gonna do it. I'm not even gonna look at them anymore. I'm not gonna bother with it. The next thing on my list for a minimalist makeup drawer is makeup brushes. I am no longer going to buy sets of makeup brushes, with one caveat. I use the EcoTools brushes a lot, and most of the ones that I use do come in a little mini set, so when I have to replace them, I just buy that one little mini set. However, I have purchased several of their larger sets, and this is what happens. I have a huge handful of brushes that I will never use. Like this sucker, I mean, it's as big as my face. I don't know what it's for. And when you go for like a powder and you use this, it just flicks the powder all over the place because the brush is too loose. Well, there it goes. And it just isn't useful to me. And there's 2 of them in here. There's another one that's that big. And I just have no need for a brush that large. My features are pretty small and fine, so it just feels like it's, a massive waste. Again, brushes are expensive to make, and they are, again, I'm using EcoTools, so they're a little bit more eco-friendly. Let me show you what I'm talking about as far as a whole set goes. This was a set of 6 brushes. These 4 I don't use at all. I use the other 2 regularly. But as you can see, even though they're bamboo and they're the EcoTools and they're fine tools and they're nice soft brushes, what am I gonna do with them if I'm never gonna use them? So it's not really about even just wasting the money, it's wasting the resources it takes to make these. What will I do with them? Who will I give them to? It just becomes a total waste, and it feels terrible to me to buy something where I'm using 2 out of 6 items. I mean, look at all these. It's not eco-friendly for me to have all of these brushes, and what do I do with them? Hopefully at some point some lovely teenage girl will want them all and I can hand them to her. But you can see why I don't want to buy brush sets anymore. The final thing on my list of things I'm no longer going to buy for my makeup drawer are full-size mascaras. The beautiful thing is that my 2 favorite mascaras come in sample sizes. So this is the Ilia mascara, which comes in a sample size, and this is the Rare Beauty mascara. I love this mascara, but I don't need this full-size tube because I replace my mascara every 3 to 4 months because I live in a dry climate. They dry out and they get really gummy, And you really should be replacing your mascara every 3 to 6 months in order to not have bacteria living inside the tube. But because I don't wear makeup every single day, mascara isn't something I wear all the time, and it's an expensive investment for something that I'm having to throw away every 3 to 6 months. So fortunately, Ilia and Rare Beauty make these small tubes, and I've just decided I'm gonna get the small tubes because I have never used up even a small tube. So why not? I mean, they are slightly more expensive, but at least then I'm not throwing away, you know, 50 to 60% of a tube of mascara. And it just, I don't know, it feels better to me, and they work great small like this, and why not? Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you found it helpful and useful information, and maybe it'll inspire you to not overconsume makeup. If you found this video helpful, please give it that thumbs up button. And while you're down there, remember that everything is in the description box. If you are interested in any of my favorite products, I will link them below. Leave me your comments and questions in the comments section. I'll be happy to answer you. I enjoy the conversation on my videos every time. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please do so now because I would love to see you next time. Until then, shine on.